educate the planning and zoning team on what that looks like.
As to what the next development areas are?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's important to add to trustee Eckert's point of what roads are up for
Right.
resurfacing. What is the timeline on those? Because that should be part of that decisioning, right? We wouldn't want to,
Right.
Is it just gonna be left alone?
Otherwise, it's
Or are you
another
resurfacing it again?
15 to 20 years before that road gets done again,
right?
or more. Depending on how the road holds up.
We've been there, done that.
More.
We did that, for Somerset Circle. We did that for Maple Grove. We've done it for other roads, and, you know, again, the village board is not willing to bite the bullet and force people with existing systems onto water for no reason.
And they say I'm the only one, and I get charged 14,000 gallons per quarter, when the correct way to have done it would have been to give them the water meter in the first place.
Well, the hard
That
thing
means
is,
hooking up with water.
the hard thing is, how do you explain to somebody who's got a family, who's, you know, living here, putting their kids through school, has all the expenses, they have water, they have a well that they've invested in, that they have to give up that well, and now they have to pay for the infrastructure for water chlorinated.
I know, it's,
So how does that, so this is kind of a.
Don't ask me to answer that question. I have no
No, but
desire to hook up to that.
that's the argument that we're gonna face, right?
that's the
So,
explanation.
well, and that's the question you gotta ask. I mean, and for 20 years, you know, you have all these kids in the house, and you're paying one set rate in sewer. Suddenly, you're the empty nesters, and now you had a good deal then, but now you're paying too much.
I think even, like, I'm one of those people,
Yeah,
because we have sewer but not water, and don't think.
you probably don't use 14,000 gallons.
Even with 3 daughters in the house, I think it was pushing it to hit the 14,000 gallons.
And your lift station that serves your subdivision was pumping around 20,000 gallon
Because they probably
per
water their
household on
lawn.
average.
They could water their lawn all day and still be 14,000 gallons.
Yeah, but that's not
But
using,
that's on average.
that's not putting anything down the sewer.
Oh, that's true,
Tubs
that's
and-
true.
You know,
But when it was looked at years ago to raise the 14,000 rate up to 21, the unsewered areas, or the areas served by sewer only were having flow rates through the interceptors or through the lift stations of right around 20,000
some of
gallons.
the people in my neighborhood take more than 1 shower a week, too. So that could also be part of it.
That could be part of
A
your
week?
problem.
3 girls take a shower?
No, that he's not taking that shower.
Oh,
Week.
That's why you have a lake.
Saturday. Saturday shower day, everyone knows this. So anyway, the point being, exploring it, right?
event.
What we're
I'm
talking
glad
about
I'm on
is
this end.
exploring it, right?
I think, you know, when we're talking about public works and
just a couple
utilities,
hours
and they're coming to us and saying, here's this area on the map that we expect to be part of the sewer and water district at some point. And then there's a patch of property in between that currently is residential. There are folks living there, they're on their own sewer and water, but they're, you know, but in 20 years, they might not be, because you're gonna have this section over here on the other side of them that is gonna be developed and should be sewer and water. So if this is making any sense, in that circumstance, if you're looking at this road that is being repaved, and it's gonna be that way for 20 years without water pipes underneath it, but there's a section at the end of that road that is potential sewer and water district within the next 20 years, then, you know, for the good of the village and the good of the development of that area, then we have to move that through. I don't think there's a choice. But if what we're gonna do is just expand it and I think this is the point you were making, if what we're gonna do is just expand sewer and water, or water just for the sake of expanding it, then, you know, there's no point in that. But if it's gonna connect to something, then
I think her point was that the people that are on sewer only right now would be served by water if we expanded the water into those areas.
I mean, there's a little point to it because they would be metered for their use. But, yeah,
But I think your also additional point was to take advantage of road reconstruction at the same time. So, like, for instance, with our road that they just did this year, they didn't really come into our entire subdivision. So they kind of came halfway in with the new paving stopped. 'Cause I mean, it's just how the subdivision was developed, right, over time. You probably know, but yeah. So I think in 2 years, we're supposed to get more paved or something like that. So there's almost a point in time where the road reconstruction thing has to sort of also kind of find.
it's not
that
up to
point.
you. You know. It's, the water isn't up to you yet at Hunter's Run,
No.
so it's not even there yet.
Yeah, and then now you've paved a big chunk of the road, so no matter what you do, you'd have to rip up that road for the water,
I
right?
think it's not-
So my point is I like the idea, we should explore this, we should understand when it makes sense and when it doesn't make sense. And I feel like as a village, we should be able to figure some way of
It hasn't happened yet.
weakening the sting, you know? Taking the sting out of it, because I don't, what it's, do we even know what it costs? I'm looking to you two right now. For, like, if I've got 100-foot frontage and you put water in, what is that gonna actually cost me as an assessment? Do you have an idea?
I'd say it's probably 10 to 15,000.
10 to 15,000.
And that's just the assessment, not putting the lateral in and connecting to the house.
But when
Yeah.
we knew it was coming, and in all fairness, we knew it
And
was
the
coming,
impact fee.
we didn't protest that fact. You
And I
saved
think
up for it, you were ready for it, and you did pay it, and many people had to do it on the 10-year plan.
Well-
So if some had to do it, you can't suddenly say, oh, sorry,
I'm
you
saying we
don't
should
have to, but
explore
you
it.
do.
I'm not
Yeah,
arguing with you. I'm saying we should
absolutely.
explore it because I know that in our basement, we actually have a water pipe that comes into our basement. I don't know if all the houses did that in our subdivision, maybe.
Well, that's how your well still comes in through a pipe.
I'm sorry, Steve, it's not the well pump.
Well, you have a separate
Yes, yeah,
future use water line.
yeah,
No, not every house has that.
okay. Well, I don't know these things. I don't know what everyone else does. I don't go through their houses.
It's a hose going to the lake.
Yeah,
With proper treatment,
so that he can suck in his water from the lake when you put him on.
I feel like the conversation we had today proves that we need to explore this.
I think we're ready for water down there.
And I think your staff would support any decision from Public Works and Utility to extend water down any road up for reconstruction that currently has sewer and does not have water.
And I think we need to look at that because it doesn't just make sense to carte blanche, choose, this road has reconstruction, it's in the district, put the pipe in.
So something here, something to this order then should be, extension of water should be considered on all future road reconstruction. Something like that.
Isn't that in your ordinance
Explored.
somewhere already?
It's in our ordinance.
It is.
It's not
I
enforced.
feel like it's,
But
So,
if-
so when we're doing reconstruction on roads, I don't remember us ever talking about, should we do water here? And then we're looking at a map and we're saying, hey, you know, we're gonna do Wildwood Drive. Does it connect to, you know, does it connect to any future sewer and water areas, yes or no? And if-
I used to mention it, nobody listened, so I quit.
it might
Sounds like we need to bring that back to the front, yeah, for sure.
well, it might just be, and like I was saying, how the roads are done.
So just as a note, so when we're looking at road reconstruction, can we include with that, you know, looking at, you know, the cost of water or laying water pipe? And then, you know, we're gonna have to look at a justification for it, right? So it's not just extending water because we're doing a road reconstruction. We're extending water because, you know, that road's gonna be there for 20 years, and within 10 years, there's gonna be a potential development there, you know, that's gonna be sewer and water.
I mean, at least look into it, at least explore it,
We should explore it.
that would be the right thing to
I
do.
And,
think we're
you know,
the
what other
explorers.
options are there, to help, you know, support the cost of that?
Well, I think there's two different sides of that. Are you doing it for future development, or are you doing it to infill the existing sewer with water service also.
I think that's what we want to explore.
It could be
Yes
either.
and no.
It could be either.
So for the sake of our poor clerk here who's trying to.
Oh, she's actually probably has what we figured out better
She's,
than we
her
do.
drink is just about gone, so she's happy
Yeah,
now.
we've been at this a long time.
Yes, I
There's
just
just a
thought
little
we
bit of
just-
brown liquid in there.
Back up,
Okay.
it's back on track.
She
I
says
mean,
it's
if we're
tea.
talking about from the summer, did we all agree that we're removing the first bullet point?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. So then the second
In
one,
fact, they're all gone.
You're,
except
you're
for
removing the first bullet
second
point.
Conservation by design bullet point, yes.
then the areas of the village already served by public utilities that may, or, so this is where we would probably change this, right? If I'm understanding, areas of the village already served by public utilities
And road reconstruction.
Undergoing road.
undergoing road reconstruction.
No,
That
I
may
don't,
be
I think get rid of that because it's a
Again,
different,
yeah, that's for vacant land.
yeah.
You want to focus your,
Oh, okay.
you'd like to focus new sewer and water developments in areas that are already surrounded by sewer and water. Now, the other
So what
caveat, land has to come for sale in order to focus on that, and that's been the problem.
Okay, so then I guess, I don't know, I think the general consensus I thought with the second bullet point was that we need to address the public utilities and the prioritization for the development and involving also
Extension of.
extensions and maintenance. But the infilled with residential uses and land, I think is what we were like, what, we would be removing that language. Did I understand what everyone's saying?
We would be considering extending water to the areas that already have sewer, if we're gonna do a road reconstruction.
Okay.
That's it, yeah, definitely. 'Cause
And
actually,
then
it's,
new.
And I thought Mark's suggestion was to leave these bullet points for the planning and zoning and comprehensive plan committee to actually review and make it conform to your objectives.
I'm not opposed to that.
Is that what I heard?
This is a
we're
lot.
giving you very clear direction.
about to die.
I like that idea, I like that idea the best.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
will s-
second.
May I say one thing?
Yep.
I promise to be brief. I do, I promise. So areas of the village already served by public, that whole paragraph, it seems to me like, as I recall sitting in on a planning and zoning committee, and there was discussion that this has been here. And then the question becomes, okay, so we have this nice paragraph here, but what are we really doing? Like, if a developer comes in and says, hey, I'm gonna do a 40-acre subdivision out in rural residential, are we gonna cross our arms and say, no? No, not till this area here gets developed first. So this paragraph is nice, but there's no way to make it happen that I can see. That's why I oppose the paragraph, but I'm also happy keeping it in there and just seeing how it goes.
I suggest that we, as they just mentioned, it goes to planning and zoning.
Okay, fine.
And don't make promises you can't keep, because,
I mean, where you're gonna come down on this is you're gonna be looking at the cost of infrastructure, and it's gonna be on the, you're gonna have folks who have, water, and they have their own septic system, and then you're gonna say, well, we're gonna put water in septic system, and it's gonna cost you $10,000.
Yeah, you're not gonna wanna do that.
And that's what we had to do.
But
So we did.
another thing I was talking about is you've got a developer that's out there, they wanna put in 40 acres worth of development out in rural residential on on well and septic. What are we gonna do? We're gonna tell them, no, you can't do that, the only place you can develop now is here, cause that's our priority?
Well,
He's
that's a
gonna say-
humongous problem, and it's happened.
Right.
And our water and, I mean, you don't seem to want to put it in after somebody's there anymore, and these places don't become available in order,
Right.
and that's the problem.
It is, and maybe, we're skipping a 40, a vacant 40, but the subdivision is the next one. We may have to really look at those options of investing in, we're gonna still run all that lateral, or the piping through that vacant 40 to get to that next one, because eventually this other 40 is going to develop. That's why we are not expanding, because they don't go in order.
Right. And there's
So
nowhere
it
we
may
can-
be something to, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's going to cost the village a lot to run.
No, it'll cost the water and
The
sewer
homeowners.
customers.
customers
It won't
a
cost you
lot.
anything.
The existing homeowners who have sewer and water, the existing
That's
homeowners
who
who
it
have
costs.
their own well,
That's
and
not
they have
good
their own
either.
septic system, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna put in, tell them, because it happened in 2002, it's why I moved. It happened in 2002. They told me it's gonna cost you, I lived on a corner, it's gonna cost me $25,000. I had 2 little kids and I just, moved here, and $25,000 paying my mortgage? There's no way I could afford it. My septic is done, my water is done, and I gotta get on this. So I moved. And I think at that time, the majority of the people who aren't here today on this board, the reason they're not on this board, or at least a good part of it, is because of that.
I do remember that
Because
time.
people were outraged by this, that you were gonna make us do that. Now, that all being said, are we at a point, are we at an unfortunate point? Well, we're at a point where we're bringing in infrastructure as a village in terms of water tower and infrastructure to support water. Are we at a point where it's so expensive, if we can't afford to pay for that infrastructure, we can't continue to put up 52 lots somewhere with their own septic and water, and just continue to do that at some point? Do we just need to, is it time to bite that bullet, when we're looking at that road, and if we're gonna resurface the road, we do have to put water in. And definitely, the infill, and I know how upset people will be over the fact that they have water, but we need to extend that, we need to finish that water. I mean, this is the same thing that happened in 2002, and it may mean that none of us are gonna be here in a few years.
Or
in
what
this
happen,
role, but-
or what happens if those people in that unfortunate situation aren't writing out a check for 100% of it?
Is there an option for that? I don't know that.
I don't know.
So I feel like we should explore it.
Yeah. So I just got a question, and the part that's running through my head is, I know we're gonna get to a number, but what's our thoughts on how many lots do you think we need on an annual basis to come online for water and sewer? Is it 10 lots, or
I'd
is
have to
it?
defer to the 2 of them over there on that.
But I'm just curious, I mean, what's the
mean by come
magnitude of this
online?
number? Huh?
What do you mean by come online?
Meaning that it's for sale and we're plugged in, ready to go. Somebody could build, is that 10 lots a year, or is that 20?
Can't imagine your impact fees from 10 lots a year is gonna make the payments on
That's
that.
my point,
The
right.
tower.
So I'm
So you're trying to figure.
trying to,
Go.
I don't have any science behind this yet.
Yep.
But I'm just trying to get
I'm
an
with you.
order of magnitude is,
No, and
I mean,
every 10 homes you put on is 10 more users.
right.
Is there a capital?
Yeah, this has been vetted. This is in one of those, either McMahon or Ayers report. It's in there. I don't remember the exact number, but we've done those calculations.
Okay.
I guess,
Well, then that gives us the defined part. That helps us.
Yeah.
It does.
If we have that defined number, then we know how many lots we have to infill, how many lots we have to serve water to, and then it becomes the equation for the good of the village, for the good of the community, for the good of all. We have to somehow, extend this water to pay for this infrastructure. Otherwise, we're in the same boat if we decide there's no more growth here, there's no more houses, we're not doing anything, we like everything the way it is, we're gonna be in the same boat. We're gonna be sitting here trying to figure out how to pay for the existing services, and we can't. They're gonna be
As
too
they age.
expensive.
Yeah,
But if you're
I'm rambling now.
putting the pipe down on a field to get to the next field, it's the current users that are paying for that.
Well, hopefully it's your connection fees that'll be paying for that,
Oh,
Does it
well,
have to?
okay.
Connection fee.
Let's explore.
because the developer should be paying for the pipe that goes into the ground other than oversizing to develop that
I think-
40 or 20 or whatever it is.
A lot of that's spoken for maybe on a lift station that's gonna be
Well,
west.
It hasn't been decided whether it's a lift station or gravity feed yet.
Sure.
Okay, we need that number, so that the
Yeah.
number is the defined number.
Right,
Would you be
For-
good enough to email us that?
for a future meeting, they can get back with some of that numbers.
But again, I
That'd
don't
be
think we
very
need that
helpful.
exact number in the.
I don't know how far we got on this tonight, maybe we'll have to revisit this, I don't know. It was,
I think we finished, didn't we?
I think you're done.
I think we did an amazing job.
Yes, let's make it done.
I give us a 5 out of 5.
Steve, what would you suggest is the next area that we as the village board should take up in our next meeting in January?
I think the village board ought to let the comprehensive plan committee now get, other than the other committees that are gonna look at it.
That'll-
We did your economic, your direction from the planning commission was economic committee.
Okay,
The planning and zoning has not directed you to go any further than that, or asked for your assistance any further than that. They can't direct you.
I kind of like this process though, personally, so I'll just throw that out there.
it's hard, and I appreciate everybody staying here later, but
And Mike, you're welcome to keep attending the planning and zoning commission meetings.
I hope you do, you're valuable there. It's
There was
important.
no sarcasm in that whatsoever.
I didn't catch any. I
All
didn't
right.
catch any at all.
Thanks, everybody.
I just got one last question. With this, we're gonna jump in here now to the holidays, and now we start our comprehensive plan in January, correct?
Correct. The second Monday in January will be the kickoff meeting. Brown County will be attending that.
And I'm hopeful that an output of that will be what people are to
May wanna come and see.
study and be prepared to come to the next meeting. Because I'm concerned about this bringing people into these meetings flat-footed.
We're hoping to develop a schedule, yes.
A schedule, but more importantly is what do they have to bring in their own mind to be productive in that meeting?
Well, you will be in that first meeting, and you can make sure you make that point clear.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
In a caring and sharing way.
Nice.
Well, that's why it's better for you to present it than me.
Discussion on future agenda items.
None.
Motion to adjourn.
I have,
Done talking.
Sorry, privilege motion.
sorry, I have a discussion, I have an item for a future agenda item.
Oh, sorry.
There was an article published in the Times, I believe it was the Times, and it was with regard to something that Pier was doing, and we've talked about it on this board a few times, similar things. It was a youth commission. Have you heard of that?
No.
Could we explore that? Village administrator, it was in the Times. DePere isn't alone. I think there was like 15 in the state right now, a youth commission. So individuals from the local Howard Suamico High School, it was a youth commission, a separate commission of folks, kids, students, who addressed issues of business, recreation, education, and culture in a commission. They were led by someone either on the village board or someone in administration. I'm sure we could find a volunteer amongst us who would do it. I would certainly do it. They met just like any other commission on a monthly basis, and they had an agenda that they cast with regard to business, recreation, education, culture, and then they had a representative who reported on a monthly basis to the village board on what those issues were. It needs more research. They followed Robert's Rules of Order, just like they would in any other village or commission meeting. But what it did is it got students involved at a certain point, and I know we've tried it, but this is just another opportunity. I'd like us to explore it. Is there anybody
second.
who would second?
This sounds harsh of me, but those kids don't foot the bills. They'll be willing to spend, but they're not going to be willing to pinch the pennies.
Yeah, they don't make the decisions, you make the decisions.
Yeah,
I make the
but
decisions.
they'll have that recommendation, and it's always going to be to spend, because they don't pay the bills.
Well, you don't know that.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Is it something we could explore? Is there a second to?
The whole thing on the agenda is exploring it.
Yes.
Second.
So there's a second. You can give me a call, we can talk about it more. But it was in the Village Times 2 weeks ago. The Times. That's all I had. Anyone else? No one else? Then there, a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Trustee McKeefery has offered a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second come from? Andrew's had his hand up.
Give it to
So I
Andrews.
said second.
we have
Andrews,
more than one?
Andrews offered the
Let
second.
us both represent the second.
Only one. There can be only one. All right, so the
A
motion to
before
adjourn the
R.
meeting has been offered and seconded. All those in favor of adjourning this evening's meeting? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries 6-0. We are adjourned.